Film, do you? You don't mind if I film, do you?
No,
you all right?
you can crack on, mate, if you like. But I watched a YouTube video the other night.
Right.
And it was basically like an advertisement for today.
Yes.
And you were sat there in your little house.
Yeah.
You know, basically bumming us all up, and it was absolutely outstanding.
You all deserve it. All deserve it, mate. All deserve it.
The amount of publicity that you and Tommy Robinson is giving us is second to none. Absolutely second to none.
It's the least we can do.
I tell you what, you've got our full respect.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Really, really.
All I can say is that I'm going to put it right back at you. For the service you guys have done, it's the least an average citizen can do. You know what I mean? I've not took arms, I've not left my family and fought in different countries and gone with the psychological problems of this, that and the other. If all I can do is sit in my frigging house and do a 5-minute video to say, well done guys, then that's fine. If that means so much to you, then I'm absolutely buzzing with that.
It means an absolute massive amount, because it takes just as much balls, if you like,
yes,
to put your face out there on a YouTube video which goes international.
Yep.
There's no restriction on it, anybody can see it.
Yep.
But you're talking about something that you're passionate about,
yep,
or you're talking about a group with such passion, and about the passion that we have is absolutely first class. Yeah, because there's going to be people out there that disagree with you, just like there's people that disagree with us. But as far as I'm concerned, you get the utmost respect because you're willing to put everything on the line, your reputation on the line at the very least, to say, this is what I believe and I'm going to promote it. And I think that's
brilliant, mate. But can I just say, this has been one of the biggest Streisand effects ever, because the one thing that's made me stand up is the fact that a Corbynite lady in Manchester called me a Nazi. So the fact that she done that made me grow balls in a sense and go,
fired you up.
Yeah, go, right, I'm a Nazi, all right. Not that I'm a Nazi, but you know what I mean? If you're going to do that to me...
If that's what she wants to call you.
Yeah, I'm now going to come out, I'm going to create a platform to articulate why I'm not a Nazi and why I feel the majority of people that I do see at marches are not Nazis. So that's really what my story is. I like to go to marches and feel the average person's perspective. Nothing more, nothing less. I've not come with an ideology and full of tons of research and I can debate this and debate that. I'm just coming from a common sense perspective. I'm a normal human being. Don't call me a racist, don't call me a Nazi. Right. I'm stood by all these geezers that feel exactly the same 100% way as me.
Right. And did you see the amount of people of all different colours and religions that were down there today?
Yep.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yep.
Because that really supports us.
Yep.
Because you got that far left bit down there, that Antifa, who are the real racists
of course.
At the end of the day, even though
the slogans that we're shouting,
they say they're not. Yeah, exactly that. They're all one colour down there. They're all white. They may as well be far right as opposed to far left.
Exactly.
The whole thing's bollocks. And you've got us, and they're chanting to us racist remarks. And you've got to us. We've got me there, white. There's you of a colour. There's Mo there.
Yeah.
Everybody. You know, how many times do you see Mustafil Islam coming out and actually saying anything with such passion as well? I think it's great.
Where's the common sense?
I think
I've got so much respect and camaraderie with everyone. And I was chatting to another vet. You're right, pal? Yeah. Hey, nice one, mate. Thank you.
Take care, brother. Take care, Speak.
You're right. Wow. Well, how you doing, mate? I made it.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, cold hands.
I know. That's what they say, mate. That's what they say. Oh, so how did the day go off for you then?
I think it's been all right. To be fair, it's a long way to come.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've had bigger followings and stuff like that in Manchester, where you were there.
Yeah.
London, you were there.
Yeah.
Then the FLA marches. It's a long way for people to come, but I think we've achieved our aim.
Yeah.
It's all passed peacefully, and we've proved what was put in the Herald that is total and utter rubbish.
Right. Okay. They tried to they've tried to misinform people, have they? Calling it a
that's
far
what
right.
my opinion is of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, John from the FLA, he's come up, he's given an interview.
Yep.
They've took snippets out of it and then they've put their own little twist on it. So, but today I think really has proved what we're about.
Yep.
It's proved that we're not racist. It's proved that we're not against a set religion. And it's proved that we are talking about an ideology. And it's also proved that we're not all child killers from people say we've been in the military, and we're not all football hooligans, that we're actually here to point the thing. And what I can't really get my head around is when we're a group of people, we're being classed as racist, and yet half of the people there today were either Bangladeshi, Indian, Pakistani or Muslims, whether they be Muslims or ex-Muslims, and yet you've got Antifa on the other hand, which is full of white people chanting these chants and stuff like that. And when we went to talk to them, I saw you were there talking to them with the other lady. When we went down to talk to them, they were like stuck for words.
They can't say nothing.
And it just basically just goes to show the left, extreme left like they are, cause more headaches and spread more lies
And
than
hatred.
anything. So we've proved ourselves today. We're not extreme right wing. We walk a very fine line. When we started this, we initially started out that we were going to be non-religious, non-political and non-racist. Now we can stick to the non-religion. Yeah, we're against terrorism, and at this moment what people have to realise is the main threat of terrorism is from Islamic terrorism, and that Islamic terrorism is an ideology. But what we don't want on the other hand is we do not want every Muslim to be tarred with the same brush.
Of course, because that'd be unfair.
That would go back to the days when the IRA were on. What am I, IRA? I'm a Ku Klux Klan. You can't tar everyone with the same brush.
Exactly.
There is good and bad in every religion, race and creed.
Thank you, sir.
And all we have to do, and it's a hard job to do, we've got to stay focused, and we have to work with communities and go and go to grassroots.
Because what I find, it's hard to have such a pure message and keep on point when you've got the opposition that's saying, no you're not, you're racist, you're far white, you're far right, and you have to keep stopping, proving your worth, and then carrying on again.
But if you can strategically do it where you're proving as well as achieving,
yes,
then we can roll the two into the one.
True.
And I've got to take my hat off to all them veterans and all the FLA lads, because we are just proving time and time again that we're not a bunch of idiots, we're not a bunch of thugs, we're not racist, we're not fascist, we're purely here to put pressure on the government to get change. Now we're not interested in what government that is, whether it be Conservative, Labour, UKIP, well I think they're been disbanded now,
bipartisan,
or who it is.
Doesn't matter, does it?
You have to wake up and realise, that we are a multicultural society, yes, right? But if someone wants to go and fight for a terrorist organisation, they cannot come back to normality.
Shouldn't be allowed. Shouldn't be allowed.
They've been fighting Western forces. For
how can you come back in and act like a normal citizen again, like you've not done anything?
When basically they're that strong belief. All right, I've been in army. I've done a long tour in Northern Ireland, and I've done a tour of Bosnia. I know certain things, and I've done certain things.
Sorry, mate. I'm just going to move over here, just so it's a bit quieter. Go on. Sorry,
I know certain things, and I've done certain things in the army.
Yeah.
But I was a paid professional. I'm not going to come back here then and go, do you know what? I'll have my point heard, I'm going to blow this family up.
Exactly.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons what triggered this was when the Manchester bomb went off. This is women and children now. They are targeting women and children. Now they have done that to create maximum effect because they knew it would hit home. And all the public media, all the media have done is played into the hands, right, and give them what they wanted. Whereas, and then you get our government making cutbacks to the military, cutbacks to the police, cutbacks to all frontline forces now, which are your emergency services. How are we expected to combat and work against terrorism
when it's getting bigger and bigger, by the way,
and the emergency services are getting smaller and
smaller? Yeah.
What do they want? Miracles? It's just not going to work.
Well, for me, that's the. If I was to look at that logically, you're thinking that's the way the problem is going to get worse, because it's twofold. It's a twofold problem that they're creating there. One, they're not letting the public have their discourse, and two, you're quelling the military, which is the one arm that can actually solve this problem. But if you're kind of cutting out the money and the resources and everything else, then it's not helping.
It's not just the military you're cutting back on. When you come into this scale of terrorism, your military will have different branches and everything like that. Right, that will work on intelligence gathering and everything else. So they'll do that side of it. They'll collate information and they'll get it. But it's also your police forces.
Yes.
Yeah, and your specialised units. MR5, MR6, counter-terrorism unit. They can't keep functioning with cutbacks. They can't, because that is the harder job. The military have an extremely hard job. Yeah, okay, you're on the front line and you're under fire and everything else. Right? And then they've got to come back and live that normal life, a bit like a terrorist does. Yeah, and there's not enough help and support there for them because of cutbacks. But then on the police side of it and the special units that are out there to adapt on it, it's even worse for them. Because what a terrorist does, you've got your bog standard terrorist that's out there. He's going to fight up front line. He's going to cause resistance. He's being loud. He's being heard. He's being seen, and he's causing this headache. Yeah. But then you've got your sleepers, right? And with a unit like this, the IRA had them back in the day. You're not going to know who they are. So you'll get a sleeper and then you'll get a deep sleeper. Right, so you'll have your sleepers that may have been out there, and they're collating information all the time and having information given to them. It's the services that we have in this country, your counter-terrorist unit and MR5 and MR6, that need investing and need that work. But also then you've got to look at green routes. Yeah, you've got to go back to green routes and work with these communities. Yeah, Corbyn says, let's work with them. Yes, he's right. Yeah, but then when he says, let's sit down with ISIS and do this, well, no, that's wrong. Yeah, because you've got to work with the green routes, otherwise you're never going to find these sleepers.
Of course, yeah.
And we're all going to live in fear, but you can't live in fear. All we want is a better place to live for our children and grandchildren.
This is it.
And I'm not interested what colour skin you are, right? Listen. If you cut yourself, you bleed red.
Exactly.
If I cut myself, I bleed red.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So
we've all grown up in this society now, and we all have, from the 70s to 60s, we've all had our issues with race and this, that, and the other. We've gone through that. We've got a multicultural society. We've got, all types of shops that are showing different cultures, music, different cultures. We've all come together and collaborated now, so we've got round that. This now is different. Now, what I find is, firstly, I'm going to say, in the video that I shot regarding promoting this event, when I said we all have an obligation to listen to you guys, just that 5-minute speech that you told me there, that you just said to me, is just reaffirm that. Because the information you just give to me there, I would not have got that from a member of the public, because I could only have got that from you because of your military background. You know what I mean? When you're talking about this, that and that. And I think this is why dickheads shouldn't be shouting racist at you. They should be listening to you. Because,
It's like when we went down to speak to him and we said, look, we agree with what you're saying. Yeah. Now, if we're all the same, the world would be a boring place.
Yes.
Now, everybody has, and is entitled to their own opinion. That's why. That's why in Great Britain we have the freedom of speech.
Yes.
Yeah. But there's a way to voice that opinion.
Of course there is.
And we're just proving ourselves right. Veterans Against Terrorism and the FLA are voicing that opinion. I can see people's concerns, like when the EDL was started. The EDL was started and made up of veterans, militaries and football lads.
Right.
So like this is a recreation of history.
Yes.
Yeah. And how it formed, it had its beliefs, it had its track, and it ended up down a wrong road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard line.
So, and you can't go that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're never
Whereas-
going to win the
All
hearts
right.
and minds of people with that way
Yeah.
of thinking.
All right, we're made up on a similar framework.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean to say we're that.
No.
Whereas everybody is
No.
blinkered.
Yeah.
This is what this is about,
See,
so they won't entertain it.
This is the thing, because I don't even ascribe to being right. I'm more of a libertarian way of thinking, but I've got the common sense to go, these guys are talking about it and it makes sense. So I know, common sense wise, the right has got a spectrum. You've got a hard line all the way up to people that have got common sense and logic. Now I know I'm somewhere at the top there, yeah? I'm not as far down as the people who really want to do nefarious things. Now, I can admit that, and probably if you used to be honest with yourself, my friend, you would go, all right, yeah, I can admit that, because, you know, every party has got its extremes and it's got its more friendlier side. The left won't admit that. The left will just say we're left. And they are the rainbow, they are the liberals, they can never do anything wrong, but then they don't want to talk about the Antifa, they don't want to talk about the Black Lives Matter, which is further down that corridor, which is the more extremities of that party.
Do you know something, right? If I'm truthful and you went into it and you looked at it, right? We'll start political side. Now we're non-political, I don't rock vote or anything like that, but obviously with this I've got to pay some attention to what's happening.
Yeah.
I think Labour have got some cracking policies, but I think they've got some terrible policies. I think the Conservatives have some cracking policies, but I think they've got terrible policies.
Yes.
The same as UKIP, the same as Lib
Yeah.
Dems, yeah? And then, so now we're going to pressure groups, right? EDL, yeah, have some good policies, but they have some bad policies. Yeah, just as do with Britain's First, Antifa, have good policies, but they have bad policies. Yeah, there is good and bad in everything. Like I said before, there's good and bad in every colour, creed, race and religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as long as you're honest about that, we can move forward.
Exactly. And what you've got to do is don't tar people with that brush.
Yes.
Yeah. Work it, collate it, get the facts and act on it.
Yeah.
So these terrorists that are there, no, they shouldn't come back. Right? These people that have gone there and gone, whoa, hold on a minute, this is extreme. Yeah, bring them back. If they have proven that they've not been involved in a terrorist organisation or terrorist activities, then bring them back. But make sure they're screened properly to prove that. Because they've done nothing wrong. Everyone makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But it's the severity of the mistake, what you do, that suffers your actions.
True.
Yeah? So if I were going to go and say, right, I'm going to go and fight for a terrorist organisation, then be prepared to suffer the consequences. Don't expect to bend over backwards and say, yeah, I've made a mistake, I've killed XYZ, I've blown up children and everything, but...
Can we just wipe the slate clean?
Yeah, can I just live in your community? Well, no, it shouldn't happen.
No.
Yeah? Because everybody is going to make mistakes, but it's the severity of the mistake, the action that's been caused, right, that needs to be assimilated, and the appropriate action done. And that's my view on it.
I can't agree with you more. One more question, mate, and I'll leave it there for you, because I can see you're getting cold. I'm getting cold.
It's cold
I need to get my hands around a warm pint. Do you feel that we've talked about the partisanship and politics behind it all, which we'd hope they'd kick in and sort this problem out? My feeling is, I feel people power is going to be the thing that's going to sort this out, or should sort this out. I think this will kick the politicians into touch. I don't mean that they will all of a sudden agree with it. I just think that will maybe put them on a guilt trip, or maybe override their position. I.e., if we was to have a march, a 1 million man march, a 10 million man march, that would supersede any politician, any elite, because you can't stop 10 million people peacefully marching on a street. That's what I'd like to think. I think people are going to be the answer to this. What do you think about that?
I totally agree with you. Now, like I said before, Labour have good principles and some good theories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So do the Conservatives.
Yeah.
So do the Lib Dems. Yeah. What they need to do now is bite the bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grab it by the balls.
Yeah. And
so to
them
speak.
political parties are meant to speak for people.
Yes.
Right?
And they're not.
And they don't. For example, with regards to Labour, free tuition and everything like that, it's not feasible, it can't happen. It's just a spin, it's a spin-off to get people to vote for him and do it, What we need to do is, like you said there, get people on the streets, rally and have somebody that is going to give us fact. Give us fact, not fiction, right? And it's going to be tough. Yeah, we might have to make cutbacks. Yeah, we might have to make allowances and stuff like that. But it's time our government stood up for our people, and sorted it out.
Yeah.
We can't go around funding all these things all over the world whilst we're in a state of nil repair nearly, as we are at the moment.
Yeah.
We need to sort ourselves out, then we can go back to helping others.
Common
and
sense.
until we do that, it's like going back to the core. Exactly the same with terrorism. You need to look at the core and you need to go to it and work with grassroots. That's exactly what our government needs to do. They need to step back, look what the people want, but do it. Don't pass it off and twist it and turn it round saying, well, actually, we said this, but we can't physically do this because of X, Y, Z. Be truthful about it.
Well, yeah.
And go down that road and fix it.
Yeah.
There is no point in fixing something if it's not broken. But if it's broken, if you're going to fix it properly, or don't fix it at all.
Not with a band-aid.
Which is what's happening now, and it's all just mass cover-ups.
It's like an elite mentality. They're forgetting that we're not just the proletariat, we're actually the people that make this society, and without us they are nothing. And we as people have got to remember that they are nothing without us. We can actually supersede them. Instead of us being inferior and feeling that they can just go, well, no, dismiss them, they're all racist, they're all this. So let's just project that out to the people that are not informed, and then that'll quash people like yourself who kind of want a voice and want to, speak up.
A lot of politicians and a lot of people in power, just want to be told or want to tell people what they want to hear.
Yes.
Yeah. And they're afraid of saying, hold on a minute, I've messed up. Yeah. All right, Theresa May did that in a way by calling that snap election, and then she said, look, I messed up, fair play, but she needs to stand stronger now and commit to what she's saying. Commit to what she's saying. Yeah. And same with the Labour Party. If they want to do something, stand on and commit. My personal belief is, if they had a different leader, they'd go further forward.
I tell you, if any party,
that's getting into it, and
if any party done that now, mate, if any party stood up,
they're not going to do it,
because they haven't got the balls. But in reality, if any party was to stand up and go, we're going to sort this, imagine the response they'd get from the public.
Do you know why they're not going to do it? Right? They're not struggling paying their bills.
True.
Yeah. The kids are getting well educated.
Yeah.
They're here.
Yeah.
They're here, and we are here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their kids aren't getting blown up.
No.
Their kids aren't at risk.
True.
Yeah. Their kids aren't being groomed. Yeah.
And they've got no fear of it either.
Because
they're sheltered.
It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
They're hidden away to live in a different world to the normal class of working class people.
Yeah.
So where do we go?
I know. Well, sir, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much, and I really do appreciate your support and everything that you do. Please keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.
Right,
nice one, mate. See you soon.
Are we?
No, I'm going in there, mate. I'm going to grab a quick pint now. So I'm going to stop filming for a little bit. My stomach's kind of... I need a little bit because I can smell the yeast. Oh. Oh, Red Pill Phil, smelling that spirit. Come on, getting in the spirit of things.
Getting in the spirit. Take a swig.
Oh, jeez. Right.
Warm me up. I'll warm your cockles.
This'll warm me cockles. Okay, guys, are you watching? I'm not going to take it all. I'm just going to have a little tipple.
That was a big gully. That was a
Woohoo!
big gully.
That's a big gully.
I can feel my hair curling. Cheers, guys. Red Pill Phil, like